G'day, I'm Stephen Page from Page, Provan Family and Fertility Lawyers, and you're watching and listening to the Australian Family and Fertility Law podcast. One of the questions I get asked is, will I get prosecuted if I do surrogacy overseas? And the simple answer to that is, it's pretty unlikely. There has never been a prosecution since 2008 anywhere in Australia. There were 5 prosecutions that have been documented between 1988 and 2008 in Queensland, when all forms of surrogacy, whether within Queensland or outside Queensland, gestational, traditional, commercial, altruistic, were criminalised. And as far as I know, there was one prosecution in Victoria in 2008, and that's it. There have been none since. So the chance of being prosecuted are pretty low. But as we've seen in a recent case, that doesn't mean they are non-existent. And as a lawyer, I've just got to say this loud and clear: comply with the law. Do not commit offences. Queensland, New South Wales and the ACT make it quite clear that if you engage in commercial surrogacy overseas, you commit an offence. The same can also be said in some circumstances with the Northern Territory, South Australia and Western Australia. And if that were not complex enough for those who living in Victorian and Tasmanian who think they're free and clear, if the method by which you do surrogacy overseas is adoption, then you can still commit an offence, because our adoption laws make it plain that you commit an offence here if you are engaging in paying for an adoption overseas. And why that's relevant? Because the form of regulation of surrogacy in some places, for example, New Zealand, and in some circumstances, Florida, Tennessee, Minnesota, Iowa, Hawaii, just to give some examples, is that of adoption, or step-parent adoption, or second-parent adoption. So you've got to be careful. So while you may not be prosecuted, you must plan for the fact that you might be. And what we saw in a recent case called Lloyd and Compton was a Brisbane couple who went to North Cyprus for surrogacy, and then for some reason, on the advice of their then lawyer, ended up in the family court to try and fix the parentage, and I'll talk about that in another video. What did the judge do? Well, not only did she not give them anything they wanted, but referred the couple to the Director of Prosecutions in Queensland. And my understanding is that police were certainly looking at investigating that matter. You don't want to be at the receiving end of that. Certainly don't commit an offence. Sorry for the warning at the end, but I've got to speak bluntly. I'm Stephen Page from Page, Provan Family and Fertility Lawyers. This is the Australian Family and Fertility Law podcast.